Hello, dear friends. It's a quiet honor to sit with you here in this space between breaths. Let me tell you about a moment. A specific, ordinary moment that arrives for each of us like a train at a deserted platform. It is the minute just before the clock strikes, the breath just before the word is spoken, the silence just before the everything changes. This is about the time before, the 11:04 a.m. in your own life. That precise, unseen pivot point where the universe leans in and whispers, "Are you ready? Your door is open." I am not here to speak of generic blessings. I am not here to talk about simple luck. I am here to speak of the chosen one. And you must understand, this is not about being singled out from the crowd. It is about the quiet, courageous choice you make to step forward from within it, to align with the specific, rushing abundance that was carved from the cosmos with your name upon it, your portal, a vein of stardust waiting to be claimed. The question that hangs in this room now is not if you have been chosen. The question, the only question that matters, is this: what did you do in the moment you knew? In the quiet at 11:03, did you hear the click of the lock? Did you feel the hinge swing inward? So lean in closer now. Can you feel it? The air is changing. Something is about to begin. If these words have found a home in your spirit, do this for me. Press like so the algorithm of the soul remembers this meeting. Speak to me in the comments below with the number that has followed you here to Dave. The symbolic code that your heart recognizes. And subscribe, not just to a channel, but to the frequency of what comes next. Because tomorrow we walk through that open door together. It is about that suspended breath, that held note in the symphony of your life. The moment before the click. We spend so much of our existence listening for the boom, the explosion, the grand fanfare of arrival. We train our eyes on the horizon, waiting for the magnificent ship of our destiny to appear. But the true magic, the sacred mechanics of a life shifting onto its ordained path, happens in the utter quiet just before. It happens not in the 11:04, but in the 11:03. This is the territory we have forgotten how to inhabit. This is the landscape where your true power resides, not in reacting to the change, but in preparing for it in the depth of your being. Imagine, if you will, a seed in the dark earth. The miracle is not the sudden green shoot breaking the surface into the sunlight. The miracle is the silent, invisible work that happens in the absolute blackness before. The softening of the shell, the first tiny tremor of the root tip deciding its direction, the gathering of forces from the soil, that is the moment before the click. It is the internal alignment that must precede the external manifestation. Your abundance, or your purpose, your portal, it does not simply fall from the sky onto an unprepared life. It meets you where you are, but only if you have created the correct resonance within yourself to receive its frequency. So what does this look like in the fabric of a human day? It is the pause you take before you speak in a tense meeting, and in that pause, you choose kindness over being right. That is a click waiting to happen. A portal opening to a different kind of professional reality. It is the instinct to turn left instead of right on your walk, and you meet the person who has the answer to a question you have not yet fully formed. That is the hinge swinging inward. It is the feeling, upon waking, that today holds a subtle but significant texture, and so you move through your morning with a heightened reverence, noticing details you normally miss. You are living in the 11:23. This moment is not passive, it is a crucible of pure potential. It is the point of maximum leverage for your spirit. Here, in this quiet, you are the programmer of the next moment. Your final thought, your last unresolved emotion, your deepest, wordless intention just before the clock hand moves. This is the material from which your 11:04 is forged. Anxiety here will build a door of worry. Rushed desperation here will build a portal of lack. But a calm, sovereign certainty, a whispered "I am ready," even when the mind does not know for what. This builds a gateway lined with grace. Most people sleep through this moment. They are so focused on the arrival of their ship that they neglect the quiet work of building the dock. The click startles them, and they are unprepared for the tide that follows. But you are here now, which means you are being invited to become the architect of the in-between, to dwell with conscious presence in the pregnant pause where all possibilities still exist. Your abundance portal does not announce itself with sirens. It announces itself with a subtle shift in the light, a change in the pressure of the air on your skin, a knowing in the heart that is quieter than a thought. This is the moment we must learn to cultivate. This is the ground upon which the chosen one stands. This brings us to the core of the matter, the truth that may stir discomfort before it brings liberation. You are the chosen one. This phrase is so often misunderstood, wrapped in the glitter of exclusivity and specialness that belongs only to heroes in stories. We hear it and we shrink back, thinking it speaks of a destiny that separates us from others, that places us above or apart. But that is a fragile and lonely misunderstanding. To be the chosen one is not about being selected from a crowd. It is about the profound and solitary act of choosing yourself from within the crowd of your own doubts, your inherited limitations, the noise of the world's expectations. The universe, in its boundless and impartial generosity, has crafted a singular portal of abundance with a resonance that matches only your unique frequency. In that sense, yes, it is for you. But the choosing is not a passive coronation you wait to receive. It is an active, daily, moment-by-moment affirmation you must speak into the silence. It is the choice to believe in the whisper of your soul when the world is shouting a different narrative. It is the choice to forgive yourself in the quiet of the night, to release the old story that you are not enough, that you arrived too late, that your mistakes have disqualified you from grace. This is the sacred selection process. Every time you choose your own worth, you are aligning with the chosen one you were always meant to be. The portal does not recognize your name on a list. It recognizes the vibration of your self-acceptance. It opens not to a title, but to a tone, the tone of your heart when it finally settles into the truth of its own belonging. This is why the moment before the click is so critical. In that space, you are not preparing for something external to bless you. You are gathering the fragments of your spirit and choosing, once again, to stand as a sovereign being. You are rehearsing the posture of the chosen one. Think of a musician in the seconds before the concert begins. The hall is quiet. They are not practicing the notes anymore. They are choosing to become the vessel for the music. They are aligning their entire being with the role they are about to embody. You, in your 1103, are doing the same. You are not begging the universe to pick you. You are settling into the calm certainty that you already are the one it has been waiting for. The resistance to this is natural, for it carries a weight of responsibility. It is easier to believe we are overlooked, for then our inaction has a cause outside of ourselves. But to accept that you are the chosen one is to accept that your thoughts, your focus, and your internal state are the master keys. It means the abundance you seek is not being withheld, it is being perfectly reflected. If you feel a lack, it is not a punishment. It is a mirror showing you where you have not yet fully chosen yourself, where you are still waiting for an external permission slip that was never required. The journey then becomes an intimate process of coming home to this truth, of removing every layer of identity that contradicts it. You are not becoming the chosen one. You are remembering you already are, and allowing that remembrance to inform every breath, every decision, every silent moment before the next click of your unfolding destiny. And this remembrance leads us directly to the nature of what awaits on the other side of that click. It is not a general shower of good fortune. It is not a vague promise of happiness. It is your specific portal of abundance. This is a crucial distinction, for we often pray for rain while standing knee-deep in our own unique river. Abundance is not a one-size-fits-all currency. It is a deeply personal language, a configuration of blessings and opportunities and connections that fits the contours of your soul and no other. Your portal does not open to a generic warehouse of prosperity. It opens to a landscape that was dreamed into existence for your singular journey. To align with it, you must first understand that its architecture is built from the very blueprint of your deepest passions, your quietest joys, your most authentic talents. Imagine seeking water with a cup, while your abundance is a mountain spring meant to be met with an open mouth and cupped hands. The vessel must match the gift. Your specific portal might not flow with coins, it might flow with creative inspiration that leads to a different kind of wealth. It might not offer public acclaim. It might offer the profound peace of a harmonious home and deep, trusting relationships. For the universe is not in the business of giving you what you think you should want based on another's map. It is in the business of delivering the precise nutrients required for the unique seed of your spirit to blossom into its fullest expression. This is why comparison is such a profound theft of destiny. When you covet another's portal, you turn your back on your own, leaving it unattended, its doorway slowly becoming overgrown with the weeds of envy and distraction. Recognizing your specific portal requires a quiet archaeology of the self. You must look back at the moments in your life when you felt most alive, most in flow, most inexplicably grateful for a simple moment. Those are not random sparks of happiness. Those are glimpses of the light streaming through your own doorway. The activities that cause you to lose track of time, the forms of service that fill you with energy rather than deplete you, the kinds of beauty that stir a silent ache in your chest. These are signposts. They are clues written in the dialect of your soul, pointing toward the frequency of your abundance. The portal is not separate from you. It is an extension of your truest nature into the realm of manifestation. It is where your inner world becomes tangible. Therefore, aligning with it is less about grasping and more about attuning. It is a process of shedding the layers of expectation that do not belong to you, of quieting the external noise that tells you what you should pursue. It is about becoming so honest with yourself that you can admit what truly brings you a sense of wealth, whether that is time, creativity, community, or a particular kind of impact. This specificity is your greatest power. It focuses your energy, your intention, and your awareness like a laser. When you stop seeking a general, better, and start listening for the specific resonance of your own path, the universe can begin to cooperate with precision. The synchronicities become clearer, the resources arrive with more relevance, and the path, though still your own to walk, feels lit from within. You are no longer wandering in a field hoping to find a door. You are standing steadfast before the one that has your name etched into its frame, learning the feel of its handle in your hand, and the feel of that handle is everything. It is the subtle, physical truth of the transition. This is the practice of lies, recognizing the hinge of fate. The hinge is not a massive, creaking iron thing you see from a distance. It is a delicate, precise point of pivot, often felt before it is seen or understood. It is the slight resistance before the door gives way, in the journey toward your abundance. These hinges are everywhere, but they are rarely labeled. They are the seemingly small decisions, the fleeting intuitions, the chance encounters that, in hindsight, you realize changed the entire direction of your life. To recognize the hinge in the moment it is presented. This is the art of a conscious life. This recognition asks you to cultivate a new kind of sight. It is peripheral vision for the soul. We are often taught to stare directly at our goals, to focus with such intensity on the desired outcome that we become blind to the small, sideways opportunities the universe places in our path, the very opportunities that are the functional hinges of our destiny. The hinge might be the book that falls off the shelf in a shop, not the one you came to find. It might be the conversation you almost avoided, or the project that seems like a detour. It is the soft, persistent inner nudge that says, "Look here," or "Ask this," or "try this other way." It rarely shouts. It is a whisper against the clamor of your plans. To hear it, you must value the quiet. You must grant authority to that subtle inner knowing over the louder, more logical voice of the mind that demands a straight, predictable line. Living with this awareness transforms your relationship with daily life. It turns ordinary moments into a sacred detective story. You begin to ask gentle questions of your experience. Why did that person's name pop into my head today? Why did I feel that small pinch of resonance when I passed that particular street? What is the slight feeling of unease or excitement trying to tell me about this decision? These are the sensations of the hinge. It is a feeling of friction or a feeling of flow, a sense of things either clicking into alignment or sticking out of place. The hinge of fate does not always swing toward what is easy or pleasant. Sometimes it swings toward what is necessary for growth, toward the lesson that must be learned before the next chamber of abundance can be accessed. Recognizing it requires a surrender of the ego's immediate preferences, a trust that the universe is guiding you through a series of perfect, if sometimes puzzling, openings. This is where faith becomes practical. It is the faith to follow the whisper, to take the seemingly insignificant step, to honor the curious coincidence. Each time you do, you strengthen your ability to perceive the next hinge. You are proving to yourself and to the intelligence of life that you are paying attention. You are saying, "I am here and I am listening." The universe responds to this quality of attention by becoming more articulate in its guidance. The hinges become more apparent, the pathway more illuminated. You move from being a passenger on your journey to a co-navigator, your hand resting lightly on the door, feeling for the slightest tremor that indicates it is time to press forward, to lean into the swing, and to cross into the new space that has been prepared for you. This act of co-navigation, of feeling for the tremor, is the very essence of the work. It is the conscious choice to participate. This is why as alignment is a conscious act. Alignment is not a state you stumble upon by chance, nor is it a permanent condition you achieve once and for all. It is a verb. It is a continuous, gentle adjustment of your internal compass to point true north toward your own resonance. Think of a radio tower sending out a constant signal, your specific frequency of abundance. You are the receiver. But your internal dial can be cluttered with static, the old stories, the fears of tomorrow, the noisy opinions of the world. Alignment is the deliberate, patient turning of that dial, through the crackle and the interference, until the signal comes in clear and strong. It is a choice you make, again and again, to tune yourself to the truth of who you are and what is meant for you. This conscious act happens in the quiet. It happens in the 11:703. It is the work you do when no one is watching, in the privacy of your own mind and heart. It is the moment you catch yourself in a thought of lack and consciously replace it with a feeling of gratitude for what is already present. It is the decision to spend your time and energy on what feels resonant and life-giving, even if it is not yet understood by others. It is the practice of releasing the need to control the outcome, while fiercely taking responsibility for the quality of your inner climate. Alignment is not about manipulating the external world to give you what you want. It is about arranging your inner world so that it becomes a perfect match for what is already seeking you. This requires a profound honesty. You must be willing to look at where you are out of alignment. Where are you saying yes with your mouth while your soul whispers no? Where are you clinging to a path that has grown narrow and cold simply because you invested so much in walking it? These are the places of friction. Where the hinge feels stuck, alignment asks you to apply the oil of truth to these places. It might mean a difficult conversation, a release of identity that no longer fits, a period of rest when the world demands hustle. Every time you choose the inner truth over the external pressure, you are performing the conscious act of alignment. You are turning the dial degree by degree back to your own signal. The beauty of this practice is that it builds momentum. Each small act of alignment makes the next one easier. You begin to develop a taste for what is authentic, a distaste for what is not. Your decisions become cleaner, your intuition sharper. You start to notice that when you are in alignment, life feels less like a struggle and more like a flow. Opportunities seem to find you with less effort. This is not magic, it is physics. A vessel that is streamlined and pointing in the direction of the current will move with it, not against it. Your conscious acts of alignment are the sanding down of your rough edges, the shaping of your sail to catch the precise wind meant for your journey. You are no longer a piece of driftwood tossed by every wave. You are becoming the captain who reads the stars, adjusts the rigging, and steers deliberately toward the horizon that calls your name. And so you steer, with the compass calibrated and the sail set to your unique wind. There is only one thing left to do. This is the culmination, the sacred transition from preparation to participation. It is stepping into the stardust. The metaphor is not mere poetry. It is a reminder of your own substance. You are not stepping onto something foreign or outside of yourself. You are stepping into the recognition of what you have always been made of. The same elemental dust that forged stars and planets, the same creative consciousness that arranges galaxies. Your abundance portal is not a foreign land. It is your native atmosphere. To step into it is to finally inhabit the truth of your own composition, to stop seeing yourself as separate from the source of all provision, and to begin moving as an expression of it. This step is often the most delicate, for it requires a release of the final layer of disbelief. You have done the inner work. You have recognized the hinges. You have made the conscious choices for alignment. But the old identity, the one that knew lack and struggle, may cling at the threshold. It may whisper that the ground is not solid, that the light is too bright, that you are not worthy of this much space or this much grace. Stepping into the stardust is the quiet, irrevocable decision to believe the evidence of your own alignment over the echo of your old fears. It is the first physical action taken from a new internal state. It might look like launching the project, having the faith-filled conversation, making the investment in yourself, or simply declaring with a new authority, in the quiet of your own heart, I am here. I receive. This step is not a blind leap. It is a natural progression, like a foot meeting a staircase that has suddenly become visible beneath you. You are not jumping into an abyss. You are walking onto a path that your own frequency has illuminated. The stardust is the tangible feeling of things fitting. It is the sense of rightness, what even amid challenge. It is the energy that rises to meet you when you finally move in the direction of your soul's whisper. You will know you have stepped into it because the struggle for belonging ceases. There is an effortless quality to your effort. You work, but it feels like play. You give, but it feels like overflow. You are using your gifts, and their use replenishes them. You are in the stream of your own destiny, and it carries you. This is where the portal becomes your lived experience, not just a concept. The air is different here. It is charged with potential and collaborative intelligence. Synchronicities become commonplace, not because the universe is doing more, but because your perception is finally clear enough to see the conversation that was always happening. Resources and people and ideas that match your frequency find you with a seeming effortlessness, because you are now broadcasting a clear and coherent signal from within the field of abundance itself. You are no longer looking for the light. You have become a point of light within it. To step into the stardust is to realize you were never meant to just find the door. You were meant to become the doorway, a conduit through which the specific, glorious abundance meant for you flows into the world, and through you, into the lives of others. The journey bends inward, only to expand outward infinitely.